The purpose of this video is to show you how you can use a Google form paired with a word cloud software to help create a collaborative word cloud like we did during our Bite Out of the Elephant activity on our opening day. So the first thing you need to do is to create a form where you can collect student responses. To do that, you need to be in Google Drive and you need to click on New. And Google Forms won't show up right away. You have to go down to More and there's Google Forms right there. So this will create a new form that I can work on. Remember, a form is like the quiz that you do or a survey. And it also creates a response spreadsheet. So when students go through this survey, all of their responses will be dumped into a spreadsheet on Google Drive. I'm going to unclick this because I don't need Dexter logins, but there are some other features you might want to look at here. But I'm going to give this a title. I'm going to call this the Bite of the Elephant Triz activity. Actually creating the survey that you guys used during the activity. And then I want to give it a description. So please enter your group's responses. Let's say 1 or 2 word responses. 1 or 2 word responses below. Okay. And now for my first question here. This is question 1. I need a title, so I'll say please enter a response below. And now I want to make sure I pick the right question. Right now it's set to multiple choice, but we need just a small text box where someone can type 1 or 2 words. So I would pick text. The difference between this and paragraph text is that paragraph text would be a much bigger text box. You can type sentences or paragraphs. So I'll just pick regular text. I'm not going to make this a required question because we're not requiring that there are a specific number of responses. Now, if you were expecting each student group to give at least 10 responses, you might want to make 10 of these questions required questions, so they have to type in something. But I'm not going to worry about that with this group, so I'll click on Done. Okay, so I have a spot for 1 response. I need about 19 more because I'd like to have at least 20 spots on here. That still may not be enough for certain groups, but I'd like to give people, a little more space than this. Now, I'm not going to go through and add item and add these questions and retype this a gazillion times. That would take forever. Instead, if you look over here, I have an option to edit this question or to trash it, but in the middle, I have the option to duplicate it. If I click on this, it takes all the settings from the question above and puts it below. So I can just keep duplicating these over and over again until I have as many as I want. So I'm going to pause here and make those, and then we'll pick it up in just a minute. All right, so as you can see, I went ahead and kept duplicating that question. So now I have 20 different spots where people can answer things. Now, as I said, 20 might not be enough. A group might have 30 or 40. So I'm going to make sure that down here, I have it checked where it says show link to submit another response. And I'll just leave a note that says, if you need to type additional responses, please follow the link below to submit another survey. So there we go. So people will know, just click on it and you can enter more. All right. So I also get asked, how do we make our forms look snazzy and kind of with the theme of things? Up on top, there's a button that says change theme. If I click on that, it will give me a bunch of kind of pre-made themes. I'm going to pick one that has a background that I like. That one's nice. Kind of looks like lined paper. Now, the books don't, well, I'm not sure if I like this like fancy text. Let's look at, I like that one. Okay. So this is okay, but what if I want a different image that reflects the theme of our survey? What I'm going to do is over here where it says customize, I'm going to click on that and I'm going to go to header image. Notice you can change the font, you can change all kinds of stuff in here. But I'm going to change that image. I'm actually going to upload it from my computer. And I have downloaded an elephant image that's appropriate for this theme. So it will upload it and voila, there I go. Okay, so let's say it's time, my quiz is made, I need to send it to the student so that they can enter their responses. To do that, I would go to send form, and it's going to give me the link. This is the link they need to get there. You could email this, you could also shorten the URL and have them type it in, or you can also email it to people. If you have I remember every student's going to have a Google account in our district, you could actually create a group of students. You can create a class group and just type in the name of that class and it will send it out to everyone. I'll send out another video on how to do that, or you could enter it individually. So if I was sending it to Molly, I could just start typing her name, whoops, and I could send it to her. So you can do it individually, or you could do it to groups, whatever works best for you. Or you can just have them follow the link. You could post that somewhere. Okay, so I can check on my live form. I can see how it looks here if I just want to preview it. That looks great, looks clear. Okay, so now what do I do after they've completed that survey and they've entered all their responses? So as I noted earlier, when you make a Google form, it's always going to create a spreadsheet, or what we call a Google Sheet, to dump those responses into a certain spot. So you'll see, this was actually when our admin team did it. These are the responses that we got through the form. Now, one of the things about word clouds is they don't like two separate words. So for instance, if we had not relevant, what would happen is it would make not one word and relevant another. It wouldn't clump them together, and we want to keep that thought together. So let me show you how you can quickly do something in your responses to fix that. I'm going to select all of my responses here. So let's see, I think 9 is my last one there. Okay, so we'll go down to 9 here. Okay, so I've selected all the responses. Now I'm going to go up to Edit. I'm going to go to Find and Replace. And then for Find, I'm just going to hit my space bar once. So it's looking for any responses that have a space in it. And I'm going to replace it with, I'm just going to leave this blank. So basically, anytime it finds a space, it's just going to get rid of it. So I'll do Replace All. And now I'll click Done. And check this out. All those words that were separated by a space are now one word. Okay, so I have all my words I want to use in my word cloud. I'm going to go ahead and copy those. So I can do that by going to Edit Copy or do Command C. Now we need to go to a word cloud maker. A lot of us are familiar with Wordle, but for the activity we did on opening day, I actually used a different service. And that service is called Tagxedo. Now you'll notice I switched over to Safari, and this is why. Tagxedo does not run in Chrome, which is the browser I usually use, which is right back here. But Tagxedo is cool because not only is it free, but it allows you to use custom shapes for your word cloud, which is super awesome. So I'm going to go to Create, and it takes a moment to load here. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, it gives you a sample with the words Mother Earth, but I'm going to pick a shape. I'm going to use the elephant that we use for our activity. It's hiding out down there. And it's going to change over. Now I need to put in my own words, right? So I go up to Load, and notice that you could you could upload a file, you could get stuff from a web page. However, I'm just going to paste that text that I copied from the spreadsheet. And so there's all the responses that we had, right? And now I'll click Submit and watch what happens. There we go. And notice it's going to do this by frequency. So our bigger words are the ones that are more frequent. So it merged it right into that shape. A couple other things, I could change the colors if I wanted to. So I can make it a pink elephant. I can also change the font so it's a little more easy to read. Let's try Designers and see how it looks. And it takes a minute to change some of these sometimes. There we go. And also I can change the shape. You can do custom shapes as well. If you'll notice, it says Add Image down here. And it has to be kind of, I don't know if you notice these shapes over here. They're silhouettes, right? So you have to find a shape that's kind of in a silhouette. I actually edited one. I took our Dreadnoughts logo. There we go. And you can choose like how blurry it is. I'm going to give it a little more definition there. Let's accept it. And so now I have a Dreadnought one, right? So it's really a nice thing. And then when you want to share it, you can either save it as an image in either JPEG or PNG file. The larger the file, the larger the image. They have some other ones that I've tried to play around with and haven't had a lot of luck. I tried to do this. I was hoping I'd publish it on a website, so you could have those like pop out letters, but it didn't work. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. You can print it. So there's some other ones, and this is in beta still. They're still developing this, so if some of the features don't work, that's probably part of the reason why. But anywho, that is how we can take a Google form and take the responses and then transform it into a word cloud. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions about this or need some support in trying to implement this in your own classroom, please don't hesitate to schedule a coaching session with me, and I'd love to help out.